The movie begins with a mansion hosting a masquerade soiree where gangsters are showing up dressed in costumes. A man named the Black Mask arrives, surrounded by his armed guards, and as he makes his way to the entrance, his eye catches the attention of a woman dressed as a cat, the Catwoman. They engage in light chit-chat and enter the party together, which is warm with music, food, and friends. Black Mask is approached by Tobias Whale, who leads him to meet the hostess of the party, Barbara Minerva, who is actually the boss of a crime syndicate, Leviathan. The crime lord from Gotham City is happy to have made his way into this criminal organization, and he brings a very expensive offering as his entrance fee, the Cat's Eye Emerald. Barbara locks it up in a safe and they all return to the party. Black Mask strikes up a conversation about a missed opportunity in Sci-Fi, an operation that did not go as planned, but Barbara cuts him off, assuring him that the syndicate is more than capable of absorbing such setbacks. Meanwhile, the Catwoman excuses herself from the crowd to go to the powder room from where she goes to work on the reason she came, i.e., to steal the emerald. She is aided by her trained cat, Isis, who keeps the security motion sensors fixed on her, deceiving the security guards while Catwoman makes her way inside the safe room. Being the well-equipped burglar she is, she maneuvers her feline form through the laser security system guarding the Cat's Eye Emerald without a hassle. She manages to retrieve it and replaces it with a mini figurine. As she stands there admiring her elaborate scheming, suddenly she is interrupted by a batarang, Batman's signature boomerang, that knocks over the cat figurine, making the alarms go off, alerting the security. She makes a mental note to settle her score with him once she gets out of this situation. The security guards open fire on her as she runs past them to the main hall surrounded by a crowd full of evildoers. By now, all of them are aware of her motive and they try to catch her, but she is too fast for them, dodging her way out of the crowd. Barbara orders Tobias to get hold of the Catwoman, but she manages to escape. But not before she introduces herself as Selina Kyle, also known as the Catwoman. Tobias and Black Mask's men chase Selina closely at the heel while she races her convertible through the curvy roads of Spain. The convoy is unable to subdue her, as she manages to get rid of them one by one. As she gets away through the streets after having ditched Tobias, she comes across Batwoman, who blocks her way, causing the car to crash. So, it was not Batman who had interrupted her plan at the mansion, it was Batwoman. Thanks to her, Barbara's aide Tobias is able to recover the Cat's Eye Emerald and return it to a very angered Barbara, who decides to eliminate Catwoman as revenge for trying to steal from her. As Catwoman regains consciousness after the collision, she finds out that the emerald is missing and is not amused to find her heist was all for nothing. She notices she is on a private jet in the custody of Batwoman and Interpol agents Julia Pennyworth and King Faraday. Batwoman warns the Catwoman to watch out as she has gotten herself noticed by the biggest criminal organization who are after her blood now. They fill her in on their plan to catch Barbara and her global syndicate. The emerald was marked with a traceable chemical by Batwoman before the Catwoman stole it, so it must remain with Barbara so they can eventually take down Leviathan. They offer Selina a deal to help them in exchange for exoneration from all her previous crimes, to which she agrees as she has quite a number of arrest warrants to her name. However, Catwoman steals the Batwoman's phone and makes a secret call to a friend inquiring about a group of girls in her care, and promises to join them soon. The plane heads to Shanghai following Barbara's location, who is seen making arrangements to get the Catwoman eliminated at the earliest. At the Leviathan cartel meeting, Barbara introduces the Black Mask as a new asset to their global organization, and he is unanimously accepted as the new member when Barbara shows them the Cat's Eye Emerald, proving his mettle. Minerva introduces Black Mask to Mr. Yakuza, Dr. Tizin, La Dama, and Moxie Mannheim. Despite having differences in the past, Moxie and Black Mask agree to work in harmony under Leviathan. With the plan in action, Batwoman is informed by Julia that they have acquired the location of Barbara, and Catwoman is instructed to jump. Batwoman provides her with a pair of new goggles with enhanced night vision and a tracker so she can get to the exact location of the emerald. Once she lands, she is faced with Cheshire, who is joined by Nosferatu, assassins from the League of Shadows hired to eliminate her. When she is unable to defeat them, Batwoman joins her and the fight goes on, catching the attention of the cartel bosses. The assassins are subdued, but Catwoman and Batwoman continue to battle against the men of Black Mask and Yakuza, the demons controlled by La Dama, Abaddon, and Morax, and the Master of Illusions Dr. Tizin. They put up a good fight, tackling huge demons and even the mighty Tobias. They are reinforced by Interpol, who joins the fight with their advanced weapons and fighting skills. Petite as she might be, Catwoman single-handedly manages to overpower Tobias, who is 3 times bigger than her. As she turns around, she notices that they have eventually managed to take down the cartel bosses and their men, but being the sly boss she is, Barbara manages to run away scot-free. The Cat's Eye Emerald is locked in an Interpol safe and the criminals are locked up in vehicles to be taken to prison. Agent King emphasizes that Barbara is still on the run, but Selena reminds him that she kept her part of the deal by doing what she was told to. In return, she is informed by Agent Julia that all charges against her have been dropped and she has a clean slate. Batwoman cautions her to steer clear of danger and get back home, while she walks away with the Interpol agents to proceed on their task, which is to catch Barbara. Next, Catwoman is seen on the Eiffel Tower in Paris with Isis, and she admires a diamond necklace she has acquired fairly recently. Being the jewel thief she is, she says to Isis how this necklace will help the girls back home. She notices that a horde of ninjas has been following her and she is ready to take them on, having acquired Cheshire's sword. As she begins to fight them, she is joined by Batwoman, much to the Catwoman's delight. Batwoman says she knows Barbara too well not to expect revenge for messing up with her. Together, Catwoman and Batwoman fight the ninjas from the League of Shadows, sent by Talia al Ghul, a close friend of Barbara, the real leader behind Leviathan. The two manage to defeat all the ninjas pretty easily while teasing each other about their body count. Barbara looks on from a helicopter above that her plan has failed and she drops a crate harboring the supervillain Solomon Grundy on them. While Catwoman and Batwoman try to contain him, he uses his super strength to deal with them. Even the Cheshire's sword is unable to do any harm to him. He knocks out the Batwoman while she tries to hold him off with her grapple hook. He is about to eliminate her when Catwoman lures him into a trap she has set in place for him. She makes him follow her to a construction site where, going against her promise to a certain someone to not eliminate anyone, she thrusts a handful of dynamites in Solomon's mouth while she runs to take cover. Before Solomon can process anything, he explodes, causing the office full of TNT to blow up in flames. As the Catwoman appears from her cover, she notices Barbara advancing toward her through the destroyed construction site, with Isis in her arms. Barbara has realized that all her tactics failed to eliminate Catwoman, and now she must face the Catwoman herself to get the job done. She sets Isis free and transforms into her true beast self, the Cheetah. While baring her claws, she boasts that the Wonder Woman was equally taken aback as the Catwoman is to see her transfigure into this giant animal she must confront. Cheetah reveals that she is immortal, with powers bestowed upon her by a god. The Catwoman tries to outsmart her, but the Cheetah is after her blood. Burning in the fire of revenge, she plunges at the Catwoman, who barely escapes. The fight goes on for some time, the Cheetah chasing after the Catwoman and injuring her whenever she can while the Catwoman tries to get away from her. Cheetah strikes a blow that cuts through Catwoman's body. Catwoman tries to dodge her by hiding under a truck, but the mighty Cheetah yanks it away, causing it to spill oil that ends up catching fire because of a naked wire. The explosion from the truck distracts the Cheetah, giving time for the Catwoman to hide. Back on her track, the Cheetah follows the trail of blood to find her prey. Catwoman needs to think quickly if she is to make it out of this alive. She notices steel rods embedded in concrete and devises a strategy. Wincing, she makes a run for the crane at the construction site while trying to avoid being noticed by her nemesis. However, she fails. The Cheetah follows her and tries to slow her down by throwing anything she can get her hands on. Catwoman manages to reach the crane elevator while rain pours down heavily. She closes the elevator door in time to avoid the Cheetah from mauling her. However, the Cheetah does not back down. She climbs adjacently as the elevator makes its way to the top, and while a struggling Catwoman makes her way to the boom, the monstrous Cheetah following closely at her heels. At the boom, the Catwoman positions herself at the edge, and instigates the Cheetah by telling her that she was the reason for her failed human trafficking operation back in Sci-Fi recently, where she rescued a group of girls from the criminals and took them under her care. So this answers what she has been talking about from time to time. This enrages the Cheetah and she pounces at Catwoman, who swiftly changes her position and manages to strangle the Cheetah, finally being able to subdue her. With her energy reserves depleted, she is unable to keep her balance, and both the Cheetah and the Catwoman fall from the boom. Suddenly, the Batwoman swoops in and rescues the Catwoman while Cheetah falls on the steel rods in the concrete columns and is impaled. She has a deal with a god so she does not pass away, but for now, this will do. The fight is over. In the end, Interpol joins them, taking the bodies of Cheetah and Solomon Grundy into custody. Agent King is happy that the boss and cartel lords have been caught, but Catwoman corrects him that a group this large never goes down so easily, and they need to keep their eyes open while Batwoman tends to Catwoman's wounds. They thank Catwoman for her help, and this is where she reveals to them that Leviathan was involved in trafficking women and girls, which is why she devised this detailed plan to take down the perpetrators. She leaves, and it is only then that Julia informs them of the missing cat's eye emerald, which is definitely the work of the jewel thief, the Catwoman. Catwoman is seen making her way to London via the English Channel while assuring her friend Holly on a call that she has a lot of money to take care of all the girls she saved from Leviathan.